Zuniga. Hello. Is anybody else this nervous?
Speak slowly, please.
Just for you, Linda.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you.
All right, just real quick, thanks to the band. Thank you, Shirley, for helping plan the wedding. Thanks to everyone else who attended. Thanks for having this wedding. Do we have the aunts from Denmark here? Where are they? Can you raise your hand? Oh, yeah. And Josh's dad came from China. And his wife now, Amanda. And Linda came from Medford, Oregon. It's amazing how far people travel for a free meal. So my name's Daniel Zuniga. Me and Josh have known each other for about 20 years now. We grew up together as kids. Yeah, back in preschool, Josh was a typical Asian. He still had the wild hair. He was the fastest kid in school. And he liked video games, like me. In fact, he was so Asian that when I would go over to Linda's house, she would make us study before we could play. Yeah. And Josh hated studying so much. So just for you, I made sure to bring Josh's calculus book with us, just in case we had to study. I wasn't sure. But I think it paid off because you can kind of see what kind of guy he's turned into. All that studying and hard work. I remember in 6th grade they were prepping us for junior high, and then they were asking us what we wanted to do with our lives. And I predicted where we would both be at this stage in our lives, and we're here now. Josh has a bunch of career opportunities. A sported out BMW, and now he has a wife, and I have a bunny. So today doesn't mark a new chapter, it marks a whole new book for you guys, right? So I just wanted to give a couple words of advice for you guys. Marriage is the only war that you sleep with your enemy. And you can win any battle by saying 2 words. Yes, dear. I do feel good about them. You can tell that they're a good couple, by the way that they look at each other. They brighten each other up when they smile. They light each other's faces. When they first started dating, Josh was telling me about her, and he would, it was Natalie this and Natalie that. And I swear I haven't seen anything, he hasn't been obsessed with anything like that since he discovered the English accent in middle school. All he did was talk about Top Gear and BBC. Beautiful. Yeah, so I'll be honest, I was getting a little teary-eyed down at the ceremony there. It was pretty nice. But just some words of advice. If you don't have time, make time. Make sure you guys stick it out, do the thick and thin. So whatever you guys end up doing, just give it 100%. Unless it's blood. So I was going to do the properly nerdy thing. At first I was going to do the properly nerdy thing and read off a couple quotes. from Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. But I didn't figure that would do any justice, so last night I decided to write a poem for them. It's been a while, so I tried to polish it off, and you guys can critique it. It's called The Garden. I'm sorry if my voice is going in and out here. There they stood, in front of many, as the sunlight peeked through the redwoods like children playing hide-and-seek. Their shadows waltzed hand in hand across the grass beneath their feet. The pastor's speech escaped them excitedly as two words echoed throughout the corridors of soulful eyes. I do recall them being in the garden that day, watching them dance around one another like fleeting moths prancing under the moonlight serenity, drawing closer with each bated breath of passing wind. They clasped hands and arose from the garden, two wisps whispering three words. Then they left in front of many. But there was something about that garden. How marvelous. And I did have to supply one live quote, or one nerdy quote. I just had to do it for Josh. It's never laugh at a live dragon. That one was from Lord of the Rings. Anyways, just keep it going. And I love you, man.
Thank you, Daniel. Wow, was that a great speech or what? All right, guys, we have one other speech.